This is the hazard assessment of the Irazu volcano by me, Anna Childers. So the Irazu volcano is located in Costa Rica. It is one of 9 volcanoes in Costa Rica, and it is a part of the Central Cordillera volcano group. There are 4 volcanoes in that group, and it's circled in red on the map picture. And then the Irazu volcano is pointed to in yellow. It is Pliocene in age. Its elevation is 3,432 meters, and it is the tallest volcano out of all 9 in Costa Rica. It's also a stratovolcano. Some of the features of the volcano include its 3 craters, labeled A, B, and C in the picture below. It has 1 primary vent and 2 secondary vents. And it also has a large but shallow basin, also known as Playa Hermosa, and that is labeled D in the picture below. And then the picture to the right is of crater B at the summit of the volcano. The eruptive history starts around 1723, where it has its first recorded eruption. Then in 1917 and 1921, 1933, 1939, and 1940, and then its most recent eruption is from 1963 to 1965. And then to the right is just a picture of the structure of the volcano, and you can see the basin Playa Hermosa off to the top left corner of the picture, and then the crater B. So the eruptive products, mainly ash. The eruptions that last longer than a couple days or months, those are mainly just ash blowing out of it the whole time, with sporadic pyroclastic eruptions. In the picture below, the red picture, you can see the pyroclastic particles, and then there are also bombs that are thrown from the eruption, just large boulders, and they're mainly basaltic in composition. So for the hazard assessment, there's lots of hazards that come from volcanoes erupting. The first is probably the air pollution. It pollutes the air all around it, and that can cause respiratory problems for a lot of people. It can also just cause a lot of damage with a lot of things. In the picture, the gray picture, you can see an ash crust that is formed from all of the ash that kind of layers the slopes of the volcano. Once the volcano erupts, it forms large ash layers all over, and the crusts are formed from halides that precipitate out, and it forms a really thin but strong crust on the top of the ash layer, and it's actually strong enough for people to walk on. And then you can see that there's actually a sheet landslide that's happened, and that's due to the very wet and rainy seasons in Costa Rica. It's in a tropical rainforest, so it receives a lot of rainfall, and the ash that's right below the crust is still soft, and it's not lithified in any way. So the rain kind of washes it out into landslides. So that's really dangerous. It destroys a whole bunch of agricultural land in all of the communities near the volcano, and a lot of man-made structures such as homes, bridges, other infrastructure that can lie in its path. Another thing that is really detrimental to the area is that the volcano destroys the vegetation, which is really bad because the vegetation is a cohesive force acting on the sediments and soils and rocks on the slopes of the volcano. So when that's destroyed, it's a lot easier for landslides to happen. Debris flows also come from that, and they're very rapid when they do occur because of the rainy season. It rains so much. And because of the ash crust, it doesn't allow the rain water to soak into the soil. So there's a lot of water that's just running down the runoff. There's a lot of runoff, and that creates flash floods. So that's really dangerous for people too. And then here are my resources. I think that was pretty good.
Yeah, it was like 6 minutes.
It was almost 6 minutes.
Nice.
Who's recording?